Hey Columbus, Tom Silva here from This Old House and Ask This Old House. And I'll be at the Dispatch Home and Garden Show on Saturday, February 16th.
Tom Silva is one of the most respected names in home improvement television. For over 40 years, he has been the face of This Old House, known for his calm personality, practical knowledge, and dedication to high-quality craftsmanship. But very few people knew what was going on behind the scenes. Now, at the age of 77, Tom Silva has finally decided to open up about the struggles, decisions, and rumors that followed him through decades of television work. His story is not just about building homes, it's about building a legacy while dealing with real challenges that viewers never saw on camera. Tom Silva started his journey on This Old House in the late 1970s. Back then, the show was just starting out, and nobody knew it would become one of the most popular and trusted home renovation programs in the country. Tom wasn't the original host or creator, but he quickly became the heart of the show because of his hands-on experience, detailed work, and quiet leadership. Fans loved him because he didn't act like a TV star. He acted like a neighbor who was there to help. He didn't speak in fancy words, and he didn't care about being famous. He just wanted the work done right in the beginning. This Old House was led by Bob Vella, who was the public face of the program. Behind the scenes, Tom Silva was already helping with important decisions. When Bob Vella left the show in 1989, due to conflicts over product endorsements and sponsorships, it created a big shift. Many people expected the show to fall apart. Instead, it became even stronger. And Tom Silva was one of the main reasons why. While others came and went, Tom stayed, and his role only grew larger with time. Over the next few decades, Tom worked on nearly every project, from kitchen remodels to full home restorations. His reputation grew, and so did his influence on the production side. What many viewers didn't know is that around this time, Tom had already approached the producers with a serious request. He wanted to make sure his role was clearly defined and respected. He didn't just want to appear on screen, he wanted to be part of the planning process. He wanted to help design the projects, choose the right materials, and guide how each job was presented. And he made it clear, if those things didn't happen, he might walk away from the show. The producers listened. They knew that losing Tom would be a huge blow, and they agreed to give him more control. That was when Tom Silva became not just a contractor on TV, but a true leader behind the scenes. Through the 1990s and early 2000s, Silva's presence helped keep the show steady. As the program gained popularity, there were more people involved, more decisions to be made, and more pressure to entertain, as well as educate. Tom made sure the show didn't lose its real purpose to teach people about quality home construction and remodeling. While others worried about camera angles and ratings, Tom focused on making sure the building work was done right. Even though he was never listed as an executive, people on the crew knew who they could count on. If something needed to be fixed or explained, they went to Tom. But being in that position wasn't always easy. As the years went by, there were more and more changes in the television industry. New producers came in with new ideas. Younger faces were introduced to attract a younger audience. Around 2010, discussions began about changing the show's image and possibly reducing the screen time of older crew members. Tom Silva's name came up in those talks. There were even suggestions to slowly phase him out and bring in new experts. But Tom wasn't ready to step aside. He believed that experience mattered and that the viewers still appreciated quality over flashiness. Tom pushed back against those changes. He believed that the audience trusted him and that replacing him would damage the show's integrity. Many crew members, including those from the technical department, supported him. They knew how much knowledge he brought to each project. Loyal fans of the show also made their voices heard. They wanted Tom Silva to stay. In the end, the producers backed down. Not only did Tom keep his role, but he was also given even more freedom to guide the show's direction. He became a regular on Ask This Old House and continued to be a key voice in planning, designing, and overseeing every season's projects, while Tom Silva always appeared calm and collected on television. The reality behind the scenes was much more difficult than people realize. One of the biggest moments of stress came in 2004. At that time, the show was going through another big change. There was growing pressure between the production crew and the construction team. Producers wanted clean shots and exciting footage, but the builders needed to focus on real safety and correct techniques. Trying to balance those two worlds became exhausting. Tom said it felt like he was being pulled in different directions all the time. He wanted to teach people how to do things the right way, but the filming process often got in the way. It got so serious that Tom actually wrote a resignation letter. He felt like he couldn't do his job properly under those conditions. His wife and family knew how much stress he was under, and he began to seriously think about walking away. But before he made a final decision, the producers stepped in. They knew they couldn't afford to lose him. After a long series of private meetings, they promised to give him full control over the technical parts of each project he could manage. The crew make the final calls on materials and safety and keep his trusted team intact. That promise changed everything. The resignation letter was never sent, and Tom stayed on the show. That was one of the hardest moments in his career, but not the only one. In 2018, Tom Silva experienced a tragedy that hit much closer to the heart. Austin Wilson, a young team member who Tom had personally selected and trained, died unexpectedly while on a business trip for the show. Austin had shown so much promise, and Tom had invested time and care into teaching him. His death was a shock to everyone. It was especially painful for Tom. He later shared that he spent weeks questioning whether he should continue with the show. The grief was heavy, and the thought of going back to work without Austin by his side felt unbearable. Tom took time off and spent it with his family. He thought seriously about retiring completely. But once again, he was pulled back not by the producers, but by his own sense of duty. He believed that continuing the work was the best way to honor Austin's memory. He also felt a responsibility to the rest of the crew and to the millions of fans who had supported him over the years. When he returned for the next season, it was with a heavy heart, but also with new purpose. He wanted to continue building, not just homes, but hope and inspiration. These moments of personal struggle helped shape Tom's quiet strength. Even when he was dealing with loss or pressure, he never let it show on camera. He believed the show needed to stay positive and helpful. That was what people needed. Over the years, he became more than just a builder. He became a symbol of stability, especially during uncertain times. Whenever the show introduced new hosts or young professionals, Tom was there to guide them, teach them, make sure the quality never dropped. He has worked under several different hosts, including Bob Vela, Steve Thomas, and Kevin O'Connor. But no matter who was in front of the camera, Tom Silva was the steady hand behind it all. He helped plan each project, approved the tools and materials used, and even evaluated safety risks on set. In many ways, he was doing the work of a producer. Without the title, he never asked for recognition. He just did what needed to be done. That's the kind of professional he is. As Tom Silva approaches his late 70s, many fans wonder if he's thinking about retiring. But the truth is, he's already been preparing for that moment, not by leaving the show, but by building something that lasts. Over the past few years, Tom has helped bring his nephew, Charlie Silva, into the spotlight. Charlie didn't just get a free pass because of family. Tom made sure Charlie proved himself. He started with small roles, handling minor parts of projects, and slowly worked his way up. Tom watched closely, giving advice and helping Charlie understand what it meant to do this job on television and to do it right. Now, Charlie Silva is a regular on the show. Viewers have started to trust him the same way they trust Tom. This gradual handoff wasn't rushed. It was done with care and with the same values that have always guided this old house. The family connection means a lot to longtime fans, who feel like they've watched the Silva family grow along with the show. It also keeps the heart of the program alive, real people doing real work with honesty and skill. Tom's influence doesn't stop there. In recent years, he's also been deeply involved in teaching the next generation of builders. He works with training programs in Massachusetts and has served as a mentor in the Generation Next initiative. These programs focus on getting young people excited about trades like carpentry, plumbing, and electrical work skills that are badly needed in today's workforce. Tom visits schools, speaks at conferences, and offers hands-on advice to students who might not have anyone else encouraging them to learn a trade. He knows that not everyone needs to go to college. Some people just need a chance, a few tools, a good teacher. Tom Silva is that teacher for so many people, not just in person, but through every episode he's appeared in. Fans all over the country, especially older viewers who followed the show for decades, see him as a trusted voice. In surveys done by PBS, Tom is consistently one of the most beloved cast members. His calm attitude, detailed explanations, and honest work ethic make him someone people believe in. They know that when Tom says something is done right, it really is. Even after Norm Abram, another original member, left the show in 2022, Tom stayed. He took on even more responsibility, helping select new projects and making sure the production stayed true to its mission. From 2021 to 2025, the show featured major projects in places like Brookline, Westford, and Ridgewood, all shaped by Tom's guidance. He approved the project ideas, reviewed the schedules, and helped train new crew members. His fingerprints are on every piece of wood, every corner joint, every finished room. Now, at 77, Tom Silva isn't just a contractor. He's the soul of this old house. His story is one of quiet leadership, constant learning, and giving back. He never needed awards or headlines. He just wanted to build things that lasted. And in doing that, he's built something bigger than any home, a legacy of honesty, skill, and dedication that will live on long after he hangs up his tool belt. Whether or not he stays on camera, his influence will always be part of the show, and part of the many lives he's touched along the way. Tom Silva's journey is not just about wood and nails. It's about honor, it's family, and doing what's right, always. Tom Silva, one of the most respected names in American home construction, was born in 1947 in Lexington, Massachusetts. Growing up in a working-class family that made its living from building and fixing homes, Tom was introduced to the world of construction from the time he could walk. He learned everything by watching and helping his father and older brother on real job sites. It was a life of hands-on learning. Instead of going to formal architecture or construction school, Tom's education came from the dusty roads, cold winters, hot summers, and real-life work sites of New England. This type of education was tough, but it built a strong work ethic. In a deep understanding of every nail, every beam, and every wall that goes into building a solid home, Tom grew up with an appreciation for quality, safety, and craftsmanship values that never left him. In the 1970s, Tom and his brother Richard took their skills to the next level by starting Silva Brothers Construction. At the time, it was just a small company with a simple goal: to do the job right and to treat customers with respect. They focused on home renovations in the Boston area and quickly gained a reputation for their excellent work. One project that helped them get noticed was building a studio for the TV show The Victory Garden on WGBH-TV. That one opportunity led to a life-changing invitation. The show's producer, Russell Morrish, liked what he saw and asked Tom and his team to help with another new television project, a home renovation show called This Old House. At first, Tom worked behind the scenes as a subcontractor. He was assigned to work on a Greek revival home in Dorchester, Massachusetts, which turned out to be a major success. His attention to detail, his leadership, and his ability to turn old homes into beautiful, livable spaces impressed everyone involved. By 1988, Tom was hired as the show's official general contractor. And from that moment on, he became a regular face on TV screens across America over the next 40 years. Tom became more than just a contractor. He became the heart of this old house. He worked on hundreds of projects, from small home repairs to massive historic restorations. One of his biggest challenges came in the late 1990s with the renovation of Weathered Farm in Westwood. The old building had a fragile wooden structure and a sloped roof that was at risk of collapsing. Tom had to come up with creative solutions to reinforce the home without changing its original style. He managed the entire construction team and made sure every detail met high safety and design standards. His knowledge, patience, and ability to lead under pressure made him a hero to many young tradespeople watching the show. But Tom's influence wasn't just on TV. He also wrote for This Old House magazine, where he gave step-by-step advice on common home improvement issues. These tips weren't just filler. They were serious, helpful instructions that ended up being used in trade schools and training programs all across the northeastern United States. Tom even co-wrote books like Complete Remodeling and The Homeowner's Manual, both of which are still considered some of the best home improvement guides available today. As Tom Silva aged and turned 77 in 2025, fans started noticing something. He wasn't appearing in every episode the way he used to. Online discussions grew louder. Was he retiring? Was he slowing down? Some even wondered if his health was failing. These questions spread quickly, and while Tom himself didn't make any dramatic public statements, people close to the show hinted that something was changing. Then, in early 2025, it was finally confirmed. Tom Silva himself addressed the rumors. And the answer was exactly what fans had been hoping for. Oh, Tom wasn't retiring. No, he wasn't sick. In fact, he was still just as passionate about his work as ever. While it's true he has stepped back from managing the day-to-day operations of Silva Brothers Construction, handing over the reins to his nephew, Charlie Silva, Tom still plays a major role in the company's most important decisions. He attends planning meetings, helps review new building plans, and gives feedback on complicated renovation projects. On the TV side, he confirmed he would continue appearing on future episodes of This Old House, including major projects in towns like Westford and Ridgewood. His role may have shifted slightly, but Tom Silva is far from done. Behind the scenes, Tom has adapted his role so he can focus on what he enjoys most: solving problems, guiding younger tradespeople, and making sure projects are done the right way. He holds the honorary title of Senior Advisor at Silva Brothers Construction. This means that while he doesn't need to manage schedules or handle administrative work, he still has influence over project decisions, hiring key personnel, and evaluating new tools or equipment. In other words, his brain is still working full-time, even if his body isn't swinging a hammer every day. Outside the job site, Tom also serves as an advisor to several trade organizations in Massachusetts, such as the Northeast Regional Council for Building and Remodeling. His advice has helped update local building codes in Boston, those suburbs after the COVID-19 pandemic, and improve safety practices in construction. He also gives feedback on how to design training programs for young builders so they can learn practical, hands-on skills that are actually useful in real life. Despite all this public work, Tom Silva has always been a very private man. He avoids the spotlight, rarely gives interviews, and almost never shares his personal life in the media. But from what little is known, Tom has been married to Susan Silva. Since the late 1970s, the couple lives in a beautiful 19th century home in a quiet suburb west of Boston. Of course, the house has been carefully restored by Tom himself, and it stands as a perfect example of everything he believes in: preserving historic character while making a home livable for modern life. That home has been featured in This Old House magazine and used as an example in his renovation classes. Tom and Susan have 2 children, Kate and TJ, who chose not to follow their father into television or construction. However, they do support the family business when needed, especially in media and financial areas. Tom's own home was even used as a model case study during a historic preservation conference, where he gave a talk about how to renovate old buildings in a sustainable way. That project now lives in the Massachusetts Architectural Archives as an example of non-commercial restoration excellence. Tom Silva's legacy is about much more than the homes he's built or the TV episodes he's filmed. It's about the way he's changed the way Americans think about building, fixing, and living in their homes. For years, Tom has been an active supporter of vocational education. He quietly works with nonprofits and local organizations that offer job training to young people, especially those who come from difficult backgrounds. In many cases, he serves as an unofficial mentor, helping guide training programs, giving advice on tools and equipment, and even showing up to do live demonstrations when he has time. He doesn't do this for attention or publicity most of the time. It's not even reported. But every year, when these organizations publish their annual reports, Tom Silva's name is there, listed as a key advisor. In the trades industry, he is known as a man who keeps his word, respects his craft, and cares deeply about future generations of workers. Teachers at several trade schools have built entire courses around footage from this old house, using Tom's step-by-step instructions as the core of their lessons. That's a rare honor for someone who started with nothing more than a hammer, vision, and a lifetime of hands-on learning. And Tom Silva's dedication to professionalism doesn't stop there. In an age where many TV personalities use their fame to promote brands or launch product lines, Tom has made the opposite choice. He avoids flashy commercials and doesn't associate his name with tools or products just to make a quick dollar. His image is built on trust, not marketing. That's why viewers respect him so deeply. He's never tried to be a celebrity. He's always remained a craftsman. This decision to stay grounded has only increased his credibility in the eyes of fans and professionals alike. As media has changed over the years, from cable to streaming and now to YouTube and social media, Tom has kept doing what he does best, teaching and building. He's not chasing trends, he's setting a standard of consistency, quality, and humility that's hard to find these days. As we look at Tom Silva's career from a distance, it's clear that his work is more than just construction. It's a philosophy. Every board he cuts, every wall he frames, every roof he fixes carries the message that quality matters. Doing things the right way, even if it takes longer or costs more, is worth it. That message has inspired not just homeowners and builders, but also viewers who've never lifted a hammer in their lives. And now, even at the age of 77, Tom shows no signs of slowing down. He's adjusted his role, yes, but he still shows up, still offers advice, and still brings his unmatched experience to every job he touches. His voice, calm and steady, continues to echo in workshops, classrooms, and homes across the country. So, what's next for Tom Silva? According to him and the This Old House team, he'll continue contributing to upcoming seasons and projects. He'll keep advising, consulting, and guiding both on-screen teams and behind-the-scenes crews. And perhaps more importantly, he'll keep inspiring a new generation of tradespeople who now see him as more than a contractor. He's a mentor, teacher, and a living legend. For those who grew up watching This Old House, seeing Tom Silva still wearing his tool belt at 77 is a reminder that passion doesn't retire. True craftsmanship lasts a lifetime, and the best way to honor a legacy is to keep building on it, one careful nail at a time. If you found this story meaningful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment about your favorite Tom Silva moment. Whether it was a lesson you learned from his advice or a project that inspired you to pick up a hammer yourself, we'd love to hear from you. Because at the end of the day, Tom Silva's story isn't just about construction. It's about building something that lasts.